During the brutal winters of World War II, when temperatures plunged far below freezing and entire landscapes disappeared beneath ice and snow, survival became as deadly a battle as any fought with rifles or artillery. From the endless Russian steppe to the frozen forests of the Ardennes and the mountains of Norway, soldiers faced a quiet but relentless enemy, the cold. Firewood was buried under deep drifts, liquid fuel thickened or ran out, and the simple act of lighting a traditional fire could mean instant death. A curl of smoke rising above a tree line was enough to attract enemy aircraft. A flicker of flame at night could draw artillery fire. In occupied territories, even civilians knew that visible heat meant visible life, and visible life meant danger. What soldiers needed was not just warmth, but invisible warmth, a heat source that was compact, smokeless, and reliable in the worst conditions imaginable. The answer came in the form of a tiny folding metal device powered by solid fuel tablets, a pocket stove most famously associated with the German brand Esbit, which began mass-producing these stoves in the 1930s. Unlike bulky field kitchens or liquid fuel burners that required maintenance and pumping, this stove was brutally simple. It was little more than a foldable metal stand, small enough to fit in a coat pocket, designed to hold a compact fuel tablet beneath a mess tin or canteen cup. There were no moving parts to fail, no valves to freeze, and no complex instructions. A soldier could unfold it in seconds, strike a match, and have a steady, controlled flame almost instantly. In sub-zero temperatures, where fingers went numb in minutes, simplicity was not a luxury, it was survival. The real genius of the pocket stove lay in its fuel. Hexamine tablets. Hexamine, formed from formaldehyde and ammonia, is a dense, solid compound that burns at extremely high temperatures, around 700 degrees Celsius, while producing very little smoke and minimal visible flame. That meant a soldier could melt snow, boil water, or heat rations without broadcasting their position. One small tablet, weighing only a few grams, could burn for roughly 12 to 15 minutes, long enough to bring half a liter of water to a rolling boil, even in freezing air. 2 tablets could heat a full ration tin. Unlike wood, hexamine did not absorb moisture. It remained reliable in rain, sleet, and snow. It did not require carefully dried tinder or oxygen-rich airflow. Even in windy mountain passes or shallow foxholes, it burned steady and hot. On the Eastern Front, where German troops endured temperatures dropping below minus 30 degrees Celsius, these pocket stoves became indispensable. Frostbite, hypothermia, and exhaustion were constant threats. Warm liquid, even a cup of melted snow turned into coffee, could restore circulation and morale. Allied soldiers who encountered these stoves often kept them, recognizing their practicality immediately. Special operations units, including the British SAS, valued compact gear that allowed them to operate behind enemy lines without smoke or scent giving them away. Mountain troops and reconnaissance patrols relied on the same principle: heat without visibility. In winter warfare, stealth and warmth were rarely compatible, but the pocket stove bridged that gap. The psychological impact of that tiny flame should not be underestimated. In a frozen foxhole, with snow falling and supplies uncertain, the ability to produce heat on demand meant control. It meant independence from supply lines that might be cut off. It meant the difference between eating frozen rations and consuming something warm that could sustain energy. Soldiers were not just heating food, they were preserving morale. Warmth, even in small doses, reminded them they were not entirely at the mercy of the elements. The stove-S design reflected a broader truth about wartime innovation. Effectiveness often comes from reducing complexity. Weighing less than 200 grams, the folding stand stored its own fuel tablets inside when closed. It could survive being dropped, crushed, or soaked. There was nothing to clog, nothing to calibrate. In contrast to larger field stoves that required squads to operate, this was a personal survival tool. Each soldier could carry their own source of heat. That decentralization mattered. If a unit became scattered or isolated, individuals still had the means to boil water safely. Crucial in environments where untreated snow or contaminated water could lead to illness. Even today, hexamine tablets are still manufactured and sold under brands like Esbit and Coghlan's, and they remain a staple in military survival kits and minimalist camping gear. The reason is simple. The physics and chemistry have not changed. A solid fuel that is lightweight, waterproof, long-lasting, and nearly smokeless remains incredibly practical. In a world where many rely on pressurized gas canisters or complex multi-fuel systems, the humble solid fuel stove offers something rare: predictability. Stored properly, the tablets last for years. They do not leak, they do not evaporate. When needed, they ignite with a single spark. World War II soldiers also developed field techniques to maximize efficiency. To shield the flame from wind and reduce visibility, they would dig shallow pits in snow or earth. Placing the stove inside and loosely covering the top with a mess tin lid or improvised barrier, snow walls acted as insulation and windbreaks, trapping heat and accelerating boiling time. This method conserved precious fuel tablets and reduced light signature at night. The same approach works for modern campers. Create a stable base, shield the flame, and concentrate heat upward toward the container. Efficiency meant fewer tablets used and less time exposed to the cold. The broader lesson of the World War II pocket stove is not just about heating food, it is about resilience through intelligent design. In extreme environments, survival tools must meet three criteria: reliability, portability, and independence from fragile supply systems. The pocket stove satisfied all three. It did not depend on finding dry wood. It did not depend on carrying heavy liquid fuel. It did not depend on favorable weather. It functioned in snowstorms, forests, and high altitudes with equal effectiveness. When we think about the technologies that defined World War II, we often picture tanks, aircraft, and advanced weaponry. Yet survival on the ground depended just as much on small, almost invisible innovations. The pocket stove never made headlines. It did not win battles directly, but it kept soldiers warm enough to continue fighting. It reduced cases of cold-related injury. It enabled hot meals and silence, and in winter warfare, the ability to maintain body heat could determine whether a unit endured or collapsed. Today, whether facing a power outage during a blizzard, hiking in remote terrain, or preparing for emergencies, the same principles apply. A compact, self-contained heat source that does not rely on bulky equipment can be invaluable. The story of the World War II pocket stove reminds us that innovation is often born from constraint. When resources are scarce and conditions are unforgiving, simplicity becomes strength. In the end, that tiny folding stove represents more than metal and fuel tablets. It represents adaptation under pressure. It represents the quiet ingenuity of field engineering. And it proves that sometimes the smallest tools, small enough to fit in a pocket, can carry the greatest weight in survival.